Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV up here in Frederick, Colorado, right off of Interstate 25, just north of Denver. You can't miss us. We have a ton of inventory. Obviously, we have a ton of new inventory, but a lot of our new inventory is leaving the lot because we're taking a ton of trades. We have got a variety of trades from 2-horse bumper pulls all the way up to 4-horse LQs, stock trailers, and a little bit in between. So to show you some of that variety, the goal of today's video is really going to be to show you the condition of the trailer and kind of get a good, really nice walk around for it. And if you have any more questions about it, we can answer those for you in the future. But what we have here is a 2016 Lakota 4-horse LQ with a 16-foot LQ. We've got a slide with a dinette in that slide. We'll get into the inside of the LQ and get into the meat and potatoes of that in a second. But really quick, with these LQs, we go through a lot of safety checks. We check our chains, we check our hitches. We also, being an RV dealer, have a house side shop that goes through our propane furnace systems, our water heaters, our slides. We do a lot of checks on a lot of systems. There are a lot of systems on these trailers. So as we get into it, obviously you can see we are a liquid propane gen. So we've got some oversized tanks here. I think these are 40 pounders. Can really get a lot of runtime off of our furnace, off of our water heaters, off of our fridge, and with that LP gen that we've got incorporated on this one, we've got that ability too. So really nice to have some extra propane storage here. And then above that, you'll see we've got a battery bank of 3 deep cycles up there as well. So nice to have those outside batteries. And then next to those over on the left, just like you see on a lot of these LQs now, we've got a battery disconnect over there so that we don't leave a vanity light on and close this thing up for the season and come back to dead batteries or anything like that. Full size spare there. They've got it spun around too to save face a little bit. Nice to keep those a little bit more protected. And then dual hydraulic jacks here. So really nice to have that added stability with these dual hydraulic jacks. Don't feel these trailers move around a whole lot at all when you're inside of them. It is a keyed jack right back here, so you get a bit of added security with those too. I like them. You can pull them out if you're parking your trailer somewhere unfamiliar or storing it like that. It's just one more layer of security that's nice, a little bit more peace of mind. So a lot of our equipment obviously under here, a lot of what we use every day is going to go on under here. Really easy to get under here to change our propane tanks, check on batteries, and disconnect our battery if we need to. But obviously 4-horse LQ, we're going to spend a lot of time in our LQ, whether it's full-time weekends, we're out to the rodeos, or you're spending some time on the road to some bigger shows and you're spending a week at a time in it or 10 days at a time in it. Certainly you want to get acquainted with it. So we'll work our way inside. First and foremost, they do a nice little step into there, makes that easy access in and out. And then working our way, I may have misspoke, dinette in our slide. So really nice big dinette. We've got a variety of sleeping arrangements we can work out in this trailer too. So bit of a smaller footprint in the grand scheme of things. Nice to have this big slide. You get a lot of big extra elbow room in here. But to be able to convert this into an extra sleeping area, and then we'll work our way around to the passenger side of the trailer, but we've got a fold out sleeper sofa as well. So nice to be able to move this down. And then extra wide too. Definitely a big slide, so you can easily seat 4 at this very comfortably. And then if you're doing a little work on the road, you need to set up your laptop and make a little desk out of it, you can very easily do that as well. Nice, well lit. And then storage throughout the trailer. All of these LQ manufacturers are doing a great job of now finding us a place to keep our things. We've got some drawers just down below, or sorry, flip out. And then working our way around, even in our steps, they've found some spots for us to keep our things, whether it's big stuff, little stuff. Nice to keep it out of the way. And then some more shelving there. Really nice for some toiletries. A couple towels or blankets or something like that as well. And then some bigger ones as well. It looks like the previous owner may have upgraded this mattress, so a little tough to get into this one. But you do have some hanging storage in there as well. There's a little rod at the top of it to give you some more space. Again, get some stuff out of the bathroom, get some stuff hanging up there. You have that ability. And then I don't know, it's an extra layer of memory foam on this guy. So upgraded mattress, obviously from the factory, but you can see towards the head of the bed as well. We've got some more storage up there and lighting as well. And then all the curtains throughout the trailer too. We've got some blinds that'll pull down with a blackout shade. Really nice too if you've had a long night at the show, if you had some late rides, to be able to sleep in a little bit and block some of that sunshine. And also have some privacy as well. So well lit, and you'll see too in the ceiling, vented AC system as well. So you're not just gonna be stuffy up there from having your main vent back towards the middle of the LQ. You've got some venting there as well to help keep you cool. And then in the corner of the bed, just at the foot of the bed, there is a small flat screen there as well. Nice to be able to curl up in bed and watch a movie before you fall asleep, obviously. Working our way over here to passenger side. First and foremost, we're an older trailer. You can kind of see maybe the technology is a little bit more dated, but we do still have a CD player. More importantly, you can certainly plug a USB into here and get whatever you're playing music off of connected into this. And then you've got speakers throughout the trailer. You can also move these. You've got some speakers on the outside of the trailer too. You pull your awning out on a nice summer night, you can play some tunes and grill some hamburgers and have a nice night out there. And then too, if you've got some kids or something like that, you can zone it and turn the music off in here. Keep things a little quieter. More big storage here. It's a lot deeper and a lot taller than we see, especially above these couches. Nice to have that ability. Again, get a couple totes, one of your little plastic or your fabric totes, load those guys up and you have a lot of storage, and you're not gonna open that up to a heap of stuff falling out of you if you do use one of those little totes. Little pro tip going down the road. And then obviously below this cabinetry, we've got a nice 6-foot sofa at bare minimum. It might be a tad extra. Really nice. Come in here on a rainy day, cook some food, hang out with your friends, get everybody from the show in here and reminisce a little bit, or obviously a really nice spot to relax. And then of course, like we said, it is gonna be a flip out sofa, so we can very easily convert it to a bed. Simple as that. There's nothing more to it. It's not like our couches at home that we have to pull cushions and do all of that. And then you're right back to day mode again as well. Simple as that. You've got an extra sleeping space. Makes a really big difference in these trailers. And then like we said, hanging out on that couch, you've got a big flat screen here. See it from the bedroom, see it from some of your seating and your dinette, and then obviously your couch as well. So really nice spot to relax and get comfortable in here. And as you can see, walking through this trailer, there's not many blemishes to really point out, and it was very well cared for. So we'll work our way into the kitchen a little bit. We've got a double basin sink, really nice to kind of just have that feeling of home. Like you're cleaning dishes, you know, you've got your dirty and your clean water going across. You have that ability to do it. And then nice big double burner. This one's a little bit wider than most, so a lot of the double burners especially, you would have a tough time getting two big saute pans or skillet or frying pans on there. So nice that you've got some space through there. You can get some water boiling and something frying up on at the same time, and then microwave above that as well. Nice to zap some popcorn or something like that late night. Above our sink, you'll see we've got some storage as well and some cabinets. Again, all of these weird little spaces that would typically kind of go ignored behind a TV, especially like that. Nice to be able to have that as storage. And then we've got a couple drawers and some more storage just below our cooktop as well. And then in the sink, we've also got a shelf with some more storage. Nice spot to keep all your cleaning supplies. Other side of our kitchen, more storage. There's actually a ton of drawers in this trailer, and there's a ton of cabinets. So obvious, nice little pantry. Can double as a pantry, can double as a clothes rod. You've got a hanging rod there as well, obviously. And then you've actually got a shelf here stuck at the bottom, so you could bring that back up and utilize that as a shelf for a pantry, whichever you want to use. Nice spot to hang some show coats or dress shirts or something like that. And then a ton of drawers. With a ton of nice storage in those. Obviously, we could fill those up very, very easily. And then if I remember how to open a fridge, multi-function fridge, so we're going to be on a propane or electric service. It's going to be an auto switchover. We're going to be really familiar with those if you run any kind of RV or LQ type trailer in the past. really quick here, very similar controller for our AC. It's going to be a thermostat, very similar to your house, but mostly going to control our AC and our furnace. Actually, we'll get it switched over as well. Propane furnace with the electric AC. So onboard generator, we're LP. We can run that. We can run our AC off of that, or we're a 30 amp service on this trailer. So if you have a pedestal, you have a power source, you're able to run your AC system. With your furnace, you're just running off the propane strictly. You could run off your house batteries for a while. Certainly you'd want to have some kind of electric source to keep those recharged if you were doing it for any length of time. Now, working our way into the bathroom, I'm going to sneak through the pass-through door a little bit so you guys can see a bit more. But first and foremost, I think the thing that I take away from this trailer is the size of that vanity. You got a ton of space there. Everybody's always kind of cramped in the corner of this little short wall area in their bathroom, trying to brush their teeth, bumping their elbows, trying to do your hair and your makeup. Not familiar myself, but I've heard. And really nice to have a lot of extra space here. Just the counter space alone to store all your stuff, whether you're spending a weekend in these trailers or you're spending a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time. It's nice to have this extra space. And then above that, nice big vanity too. Or medicine cabinet, excuse me, and pretty deep as well, and then very well lit. So we do have GFCI protected plugs, but you do have 110 here, so really nice to have that feature. And then you've got some storage. Your water tank is below on the bottom shelf on the floor there, so you don't have a ton of storage space there, but really like the accessibility that they give us if we do have anything that we need to shut off or work on that. Obviously our toilet down below, we've got some light switches. Our last switch there at the very end is actually for our stock area too. So a lot of people will use this pass-through door in this area here, especially in front of that stud gate, as a mudroom. So really nice to come in there, especially if you have a rainy, muddy day at the show. Strip off your muddy boots and then jump right into your shower if that's what you want to do. Again, the hanging storage is impressive in here, actually. I'm surprised. More hanging storage. Looks like you're pinned out for some shelving too if you wanted to do that. But really, really nice space too to get some show coats, some show shirts, dresses, and that kind of stuff hung up in there. And then again, nice spot for some more towels, washcloths, and some shelving as well. That's the theme of this trailer for sure, is definitely our storage. Nice big shower space as well. You've got the shower head on the hose, so you kind of have that ability to utilize a little bit better with a nice big skylight at the top as well. So we'll work our way back out of the trailer now. You can see we have this pass-through door. We'll talk a lot more about this in the horse area when we get around to the back, but do kind of want to show you the outside real quick. Passenger side as we work our way around the trailer. We've got some drop windows at the hip side, which is an added bonus, especially we're going to be in the mid-90s today, so nice to have that ability to move a lot of air through these trailers. What I'll do is I'll close up our LQ door here real quick for us. We'll give you a look at the outside. There's an electric awning above us, and like I said too, we do have some speakers up there as well. We can point those outside if we're doing a little camping or a little barbecuing and hanging out with friends. So talked about the drop windows. We see these on the head side of a ton of trailers now. A lot of guys are doing them standard, but to have these on the hip side is a really nice option from a lot of manufacturers, and you can move a ton of air through these trailers. So like I said, we're mid-90s today. It's not even 8:30 maybe yet a.m. our time out here in Colorado, and it's pretty toasty already. You might see me sweating a little bit, and I would certainly crack all of these down, especially if I had forehead in this trailer. We've got some roof vents we'll talk about inside, and then drop windows on the other side. You're gonna wanna move as much air through this trailer as you can. So really nice added option on the passenger side, hip side of this trailer. Another big option that I like a lot is some added storage up top is an open hay rack. So you have the ability, throw some hay up there, get it out of the bed of your truck, make sure it's not getting tangled up in your trailer cords or anything like that, or your chains. Get it out of there and get it up in your hay rack, and you've got some nice added storage. It's also where our gin is as well. Used trailers through Transwest. Like I said, we put them through both shops. We do a lot of inspections. Other big thing we do is date out tires. 5 years, all tires come with a date code. If you're ever interested in buying a used trailer, take a peek, you can find that. And we'll age them out. So this trailer's got a brand new set of rubber on it for you. Another really nice feature about this trailer is a full width ramp over rear doors. So you have the separate ability to drop the ramp separate of the rear doors. You don't have the Dutch doors or anything like that above it. And then you can separately open this rear door. Get in here. Lakota does a nice little butt strap for us here that we can strap across. Buy ourselves a little time, a little room to get in here and get a shank onto our first horse. And we'll be in good shape. Working our way into the trailer, you will see rubber mats throughout in here. So they do a really nice job on the floor, nice big thick rubber mats, aluminum floor underneath that. And then on the kick walls, we'll talk about our collapsible tack here in a second, but even on the walls to our collapsible tack, they've done that as well. So gonna protect our trailer if we've got somebody that's bouncing around a little bit or that's trying to rub on our walls too. It's gonna keep them a lot more comfortable. Talking about rubbing on walls, we've got padded dividers here as well. Do a nice job with those. And then number one stall is a stud gate. You will see, I told you, number one reason we do a lot of these videos to show you the condition of trailers. So we do have somebody, looks like they got a little Dancy in here or something like that and rub some shoes on it, but certainly still in very functional shape and want to show those things to you. But I like this style of stud divider, a little bit of a swing there, and then notched out to fit inside our fender well. But like we say in all our trailers, especially with this number one horse being the stud divider, a ton of customers are using these for kind of a mudroom type area, a little bit of extra storage. We've got an escape door that we'll show you on driver's side. Nice to be able to come there. Like I said, if you're having a muddy day, a wet day at a horse show, really nice to come in here, strip your boots off, and like we said, here's our access right into our bathroom, like where we were earlier. So you have that ability to jump right in your shower. Maybe you were clipping a horse and you want to get all that hair off of you. I would understand that too. Really nice to be able to do that and not track everything through your tack room or your LQ, excuse me. So nice big stud wall. Again, using it for storage, it's going to keep anything from rolling out from under them. Number one stall with the escape door is missing this amenity, but you will see our rear three horses are going to have access to a manger. Really nice added spot. Throw some hay. Nice spot to have them be a bit more comfortable. And then we'll talk about it when we get out there on the driver's side too. Really nice extra storage in these trailers. Certainly in these LQs, tack storage and equipment storage might be a little slimmer than others. So nice to be able to have those mangers and that extra storage in there. We talked about airflow. We talked about drop windows. Roof vents are a big game changer, moving air through these trailers. These are two-way vents, so we can get them to suck air in during the summer, blow a lot of air over the heads of our horses, the backs of our horses, and then wintertime we can reverse them, pull some of that stale air out of the trailer. If you've got forehead in here, even on a 30-degree day, you'll create a lot of condensation in these trailers. So talk about the collapsible rear tack real quick. This post is removable to enable you to load something in here, but you obviously do still need it to attach your doors to. That's where your latching mechanism is. But what you can also do is you can fold this in, remove your saddle rack, and make a lot more space out of the back area of the trailer if that's what you're looking for. But as it's equipped, we can see we've got a 4-post saddle rack. They do a toolless little knob on our racks here, so we can move them up and down and put them wherever we want. And then like we said, this whole post is removable, and I like how they've carpeted all the walls in here as well. We've got some hooks here throughout, and then LEDs up in the roof line too, so you can see what you're doing at night. Working our way, I'm going to swing this door over for us because it adds a few more features to our tack. First and foremost, some saddle pad holders, really nice. Especially we've got a double-ended snap on there. We can swing these out with this door open on a day like today with a little breeze. A sweaty one would certainly dry up a lot quicker than being stuffed away in the gooseneck of a trailer somewhere. And then totally lockable as well. We've got a set of keys for the trailer that you can lock this up and keep your tack secure. Do want to give you a look at our rear ramp with it all closed up. Just to kind of give you an idea. Again, give you a look at the whole trailer overall. It's in really great shape. LEDs throughout. Our tail lights are all going to be LEDs, and we've got our controls over our interior lights and some floodlights back here at this rear corner as well. Nice to be able to driver's side, hop right out of your truck, and you have easy access to that. So we talked about the gen and the hay rack. Excuse the squeak. But they also do a nice job with this ladder. So you're not just climbing up a hayloft ladder on the side of a wall. You got a bit of an angle to get up there. Makes it a little bit safer, makes it a little bit more accessible. Obviously, we suggest a lot of customers come in, how do you get hay up there? Our suggestion is a front end loader or a bobcat, hopefully. Maybe if you do have a hayloft, backing up to that would be your easiest solution. But suggest climbing up this guy and meeting your loader bucket up there with a load of hay, getting it all loaded up, strapped down. And again, too, if you need to do any kind of service to your gen, check on things up there, or you're getting ready to winterize. Really nice to have that access point. And then folds right back up and pins right back in place. So, first big feature, like we talked about, is our drop windows. They do a nice job with these too. We've got jail bars on the head side, obviously. If we are getting ready to load or unload and we want to clip a shank on, if we're at a stop and want to offer a little hay and water, they do a nice job with these jail bars. There's no hardware. Slip right in and out of that track right there, and you can get them all the way down. And then close these back up for a second and look at the next feature I love, is the amount of storage and how deep it is within those mangers too. So whether you're carrying a couple totes worth of tools for changing tires, some extra tack or blankets, you could even squeeze a few bags or more than a few bags of shavings in here to use as you're unloading to bed down your stalls. Just a lot of versatility with them, and they all close at the same time too. A lot of versatility with them and a lot of extra storage. And then what you'll see when we drop our head windows, our drop windows, our handle heel will fit into this little rubber grommet and hold things tight against the door. Nice to hold these drop windows against the walls, keep them from flapping in the wind. We do have a fold-out step for our escape door. Again, makes it really functional as that mudroom, just like we were talking about. But another nice feature that you may see is this door will still open with that step out too. So if you're just running in here to grab something real quick, you don't have to flip these down and worry about all of that. Again, like we said, really nice spot to utilize the storage, whether you're just camping out and you're hauling 4 and you're using it for storage for the weekend, or you're just hauling 2 or 3 and you've got that extra storage. Bit smaller drop window here in that escape door, but you have that option in there as well, so you're still going to be moving just as much air across those horses on the front horse as you are on the rear horse. Back into the LQ world really quick, couple utility things, couple connection points. This is the back side of our water heater. Don't lean anything up against this when you're running it. It does have some hot exhaust coming from it. We do have a city water connection. I failed to point out the freshwater tank fill for you on the passenger side of the trailer. But if you had a full connection point, you were parked at a park or a show, that would be where you would hook up your hose from the spigot. And then here's our 30 amp service connection as well. Same story. If you're not running your gen, you would want to be plugged into that, certainly if you're spending a weekend out at a show or something like that. Nice to have that connection there. Another bit of advice, always make sure your cord's long enough to reach the pedestal before you unhook your truck. Ask me how I know. A couple more windows and some vents there on the back side of our vanity. And then this is the back side of our slide, obviously. A really deep slide like we talked about in that dinette. Really nice to have that extra added space in here. And then what you'll see above this slide, which I think is a really nice added option too, is that awning. So we've all parked under a tree, whether we've stored our trailer there for the winter or it's been parked there for a day, and then pulled in our slide and come to the next fuel stop and find a bunch of acorns or pine cones and leaves inside our trailer. Nice to be able to keep all that stuff shed outside when you pull that slide in, and just a bit of added protection and a bit less cleanup really at the end of the day too, which is always helpful. Again, really nice big slide on this trailer too. So this is a 2016 Lakota. Again, another example of our used inventory. We have a number of used LQs and we have a number of used non-LQs. Wanted to show you the variety. I hope you get a really good idea of the condition of the trailer. If you have questions about it specifically, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. My cell phone, if you have questions about weights and tow vehicles, call me, text me, 859-509-1282. And then to reference this trailer specifically, its stock number is going to be 5U250622. We'll have a ton of photos of the trailer online as well, so you can reference those. And like I said, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. También hablo español. Thanks for your time today.